Okay, now in today's class we are going to start another topic, that is software documentation, right? So whenever you are developing a particular software, you have to see that not only you are going to develop some particular executable codes or some source files. Okay, so you are not providing some the customers with some executable files and some source files, no, or a developed software. You will provide them a particular documentation also. That documentation which will have all the blueprint of whatever you have done in your developing phases, different phases of the SDLC model, because each and every phase they have some documentation within it. Parallelly, whenever you are developing the software, some documentation is also made or developed. Why this documentation is needed? Because whenever you are developing the software at that particular time, each and every phase is linked with the further phases. Okay, that is, previous phase is linked with the next phase. So whenever you are developing the software, your particular phase is coming. Suppose you are in the requirement analysis phase, so whatever requirement gathering you are doing, whatever analysis of the requirements you are doing, so those things are needed to be merged into a or noted down into a particular document. So this is called SRS document, which we have seen in our previous classes of requirement analysis and specification phase. But in designing phase also, you are giving a blueprint of the design, whatever things you are developing, the whole designing. We have seen many different kinds of designing. So those things are also merged up in a particular document, which is your designing document. Okay, what thing you have designed. Again, in next phase, in testing phases or in the coding phase, whatever coding you are doing, that coding particular characteristics or things we have seen, that guidelines how the coding is done. So that time also we are maintaining a particular document which is giving the whole thing, how the codes are written, each and everything is being given in that document, right? Again, in the testing phase also you are maintaining that one. After maintaining all those things, you are giving a user manual also, how the particular customer is going to handle the particular software. So these are the all things which are included in the software documentation. So software engineering basically have not only the executable files, the source files, or each and everything which is provided in the software. No, further they are also having a particular documents also. These documents will help not only to the customer when he is going to just use your software. He wants to maintain your software. If he wants you to maintain his software, at that time, for maintenance purpose also, this particular instructions or this particular documentation is very much needed for you, for your work, because that will make your work very easy. If at the time of maintenance, in any phase, something is wrong or something is going to be just developed, more current phases are giving, or some current things are being added to your particular software, at that time also these particular instructions or this documentation is needed, right? Again, if someone is leaving from your particular development team in an organization, at that time also when the new engineer is coming, he also needs these documents so that he can start the work from where it had been finished or where it had been stopped. Okay, so this thing is needed. The particular documentation is very much needed whenever you are developing a software. When the software is developed in one way, and with parallelly that development, a particular documentation is also developed. This thing is very much needed. After the whole process is done, a huge documentation will be with you that will provide the whole details of the software. Done? So let's see what is the basic representation, basic definition of software documentation. Software documentation, documents are developed while developing a software. Whenever I am developing the software, obviously I am developing the particular documentation in each and every phase. Parallelly, it is going. Not after making the whole development process, I am not going to make the particular documentation. No. Parallelly, the process is going on. Whatever thing, whatever enhancement I am doing there, or whatever technologies I am using here, each and everything is being jotted down in that documentation. Parallelly, the work is going on. Whatever thing I am progressing here, my whole progress will be there in my software particular documentation. So this is the thing how the documentation process goes on. So with its executable files and source code, documents are developed while developing a software product with its executable files and source codes. So executable files are there, source codes are there. Obviously when I am developing the software, these things are the main thing, but with that this software documentation is also developed. Now what kind of software documentations, each and everything we will see now. First of all, user manual. What is user manuals? Those user, whenever you are by purchasing any software, so first of all, anything, whenever any goods, electronics goods, anything which we purchase, first thing what we see, that is the user manual. How I am going to operate the particular software, how I am going to operate a particular system. So user manual is a very important thing, or very important software document which is needed by a particular user when he is going to use your particular software. A user manual will have each and every details of how your software is going to be used, or how the user can use your software. Each and every detail, minute detail will be given there. If some fault occurs, then how they can correct that one. If some major fault occurs, then whom he can contact. These all things have been given in the user manual. So this is the thing, first software document which is given with the software. Second, software requirement specification, that is SRS. Our software requirement specification, that is SRS document, which we have seen in the requirement analysis and specification phase. That contains the whole requirements which are being needed at the time of developing the basic stage of developing your software. At that time, what we were doing, we were gathering the particular requirements by interviews or by meetings, everything, each and everything with the particular customer. He was giving you the whole details, what thing he needs in his software. Those things were jotted down in the particular SRS documents. And same thing, each and every characteristic was also maintained. Some characteristics were there which were maintained for the SRS document. And all the requirements were gathered in that SRS. So SRS document not only is it's useful for the particular customer, but it is mainly useful for the development team, because while designing the particular software, the development team, the designing team will obviously need whatever requirements are there of the customer which he have to build in his software. So that will be a blueprint of what things are needed for developing the whole software. These things are the customers need, what is being going to be inbuilt in your software. So this SRS document is very much needed by the designing team and by the requirement analysis whenever doing the requirement analysis, so that requirement gatherings are being jotted down there. Then the analysis is done and this specification requirement specification documentation, that is the SRS, is being made. Okay, and that is passed to the designing team for each and every thing which is needed by the customer. Then the third one is the design document. What is the design document? In the designing phase, I have to see what kind of designing I am going to give. Okay, which particular SDLC model I am going to use. At that time, how the designing is going to be done, that particular thing is being, first of all, that is made, that this is my particular model which I am going to use, and these are the things which I am going to do while developing my software. And that designing is also jotted down in a particular designing document. That document will be the blueprint of your whole design, how you are going to design your particular software. So this is also needed for the designing phase people, that is the development team who is going to design, and as well as the coding team also, because they are going to code with reference to that design, right? So this is also a particular software document which is needed. And test documents, after the testing phase, we have not gone to the testing phase, now we will go, but these testing documents are how, what kind of codes I am using, that is in the coding phase, that is there, and what kind of inputs I have used while testing my software, and what kind of results have been given by my particular software with those particular inputs. So these things are given in the testing phase, the unit testing, testing documents, that are unit testing, what we have done, the integration testing, the system testing, whatever thing are going to be done, how the black box testing have been done, the white box testing have been done, different testing have been done. So this particular whole process is going to be given in the test documents. The test documents will obviously have each and everything, that how I have tested my particular software in my environment, that is alpha testing, beta testing, so the acceptance testing, these all things have been given in that particular test document. Okay, that is how it is working in my environment, how it had been tested by some user-friendly customers, how the particular software is working in a customer environment. So these things, whole things are being there in the testing phase. So this testing phase, whatever thing I have done, so these whole things are being written in that particular testing document, test documents. Each and everything is there by step. Okay, so this is what is there in the test documents. Now the last one is installation manual. What is installation manual? Installation manual is the whole thing, that is the user manual here, first one, that how you are going to use the system. Now installation manual is how you are going to install this particular software in your system. Okay, so this installation manual is very much needed when the user is getting the software and he wants to install it in his particular system. At that time, what step he have to follow, that things are, it doesn't mean that if you are giving some customer your particular software, it doesn't mean that he will always know how to install the software. Okay, so this installation guide is given so that each and every person can easily install the particular software in his system without any hassle. So this is the thing what is given there. So these are the particular documents which are present in the software. These are known as the software documents. Okay, so software engineering basically not only have the source codes or the executable codes or the executable files. No, they are having the software documentation is also very important thing in your software engineering. Now, good software documents, that is useful in serving the purpose. Okay, why this, some software documents which are good, how they are used. Okay, that what purpose they are serving. Now first one is enhance understandability and maintainability of your software. That is, this will enhance the understandability, that is how your software is being done, how your software is being made. That understandability of your software is enhanced with this. Okay, the user can understand the software very nicely. He have to be friendly with the software so that he can use the software nicely. That's the main thing. So to be friendly with the software, he have to understand the software very thoroughly so that he can use that one. So this is the understandability of your software is being enhanced, and the maintainability, that is how to maintain the software. Whenever the software, after giving the software, some maintenance phase is there. If he wants to maintain the software, he can ask you. But if he have also to maintain his software in some ways, that thing is also enhanced by how he can maintain his software. That is also enhanced by this particular software documents, right? So these are the points. Next, reduce effort and time required for maintenance. Whenever maintenance phase is coming, whenever the user is calling you for the maintenance, at that time, the effort and time, these two things of the person of the development side, that things are being reduced. That is, whenever you are getting the document, you can easily go through the document and each and every phase is there. So it will reduce your effort as well as it will reduce your time also, so that you can easily understand what is the fault or what is the problem or what is needed. If some particular adaptability is needed for different environment or some new features are being going to be added, so you can easily know that one also. Okay, so this is the thing which is coming for the maintenance phase also. It is helping for the maintenance phase. Helps users in effectively using the system. The user can now effectively use the system. So it will help the user to effectively use the system, because obviously he is having each and everything, the user manual as well as the installation guide. So these two things, they are going to get that one and they can easily effectively use the system very nicely. Now, helps in effectively handling the manpower turnover problem. What is manpower turnover problem? If I am working in a particular development team, or I am having a development team, some person is working there, group of persons, one person is leaving my company, then some new engineer is coming. This is what the manpower is turning over. Okay, so these problems happens in each and every organization. Every time they are just coming to the organization and someone is leaving, this thing happens. So whenever this thing happens, at that time my work should not be stopped. At that time, if I have the documentation ready with me, whosoever person is coming, so he and she can easily understand the whole system, what is going on, what work is going on, what kind of establishment have been done, what kind of enhancement have been done. So these things he can easily understand, and he can take the work again to the next, he can progress the work. Okay, so this is what is the manpower turnover problem. Okay, that if someone leaves the company, some engineer leaves, new engineers come, they can also follow the work. The work will be not stopped. They can easily see the documentation and they can follow the further work. Okay, so this future thing is being solved by this software documentation. Even when an engineer leaves the organization and a new engineer comes, if he can build up the required knowledge easily, that is, he can build up the knowledge, whatever knowledge he wants to gather, he can easily build up that knowledge with the help of this documentation. He can easily see the documentation, and whatever thing have been done, the progress have been done, and what are left, these things can easily be seen by him. So the knowledge is built up easily to the new engineer. Okay, so this thing is also helpful, right? So are the manpower turnover problem. Then now helps the manager, who is the manager of this development team. So helps the manager in effectively tracing the progress of your project. That is, what is happening in your project. Just he will go through the documents and he can easily understand. He have not to ask each and every person what thing is going on. Just he will see the particular document of the particular phase. Suppose I am going to check the testing phase, so I will see the testing documents, test documents, how much work have been done. So the whole progress can be easily seen by the manager. He can easily trace over that particular whatever progress have been done. So progress of the project. The project manager knows the measurable progress is achieved if a piece of work is done. Whatever piece of work is done, so whether the achieved, whatever progress I have to achieve to that particular phase, that have been achieved or not achieved, that can be seen by the manager. That the measurable progress can be easily traced by the manager. Okay, then if the work is done and the required documents have been produced and reviewed, he can also see that the required documents, my work is, the measurable progress have been done to my work, as well as whatever documents have been made, that is correctly made, as well as that is correctly reviewed. So these things are what is happening in the software documentation. The software documentation helps in each and every of these particular problems. Okay, so these things are being easily helped by the software documentation. So two kinds of software documentation are there, that is internal and external software documentations. These are related to source files, and these have again some documentations within it. So that we will see in the next class. Till then, if you have any problem regarding this software documentation of today's class, you can ask me in the comment section, and if you have any suggestions, you can give me that one. And till then, you can like my channel and subscribe my channel, so that I can give you more and more topics from this software engineering, as well as other topics we can also start. And till then, take care and goodbye. Okay, so in today's class we are going to start another topic. Okay, in previous topic we have seen that what is software documentation. Now today we will see the types of software documentation. Okay, so documentation types. There are two types of software documentation. One is internal software documentation and second one is external software documentation. Both are parts of our software documentation, but these have different definitions and this work differently. So let's see what is the different types of software documentation. First one is internal documentation, that is internal software documentation. What are the characteristics of that? It is the code comprehension features. That is, whenever we are writing the code, so that is the technical part of our software or software development. So in that technical part, whatever things are going on, whatever code you are writing, that is going to be, whatever thing is being worked in your code or in your particular software, that is written in that code. Okay, so that is the functional part or the technical part, operational part. But the comprehension features means the comments which we write against those particular lines of codes, or the features, that how the identifiers are used, how the variables are used. So these particular features are the comprehension part of our particular code. The functional part, operational part are like, suppose I am writing like this, that A plus B is equals to something. Okay, suppose A plus B equals to C. If I am writing an integer part, that is A, B, C. Again I am initializing that C equals to 0. So this kind of thing is done. So this is my operational part, right? This is what my operational part is, this one. But this particular thing is my comprehension feature. Then, or if you are writing some comments that C equals to 0, so C, we are assigning C equals to 0. So these kind of comments are written. Or suppose in some particular line, if printf is used, some particular lines are written, and you're in comment you are writing printing value. Okay, so these comments, these are what? These are the comprehension features of your particular code, and this one is the operational feature of your particular code. Since this is making some operations in your code, okay, some operations are being done, but these particular comments or these kind of identifiers or this kind of variable assigning these things are our comprehension things. Okay, that we are assigning something, right? Or we are declaring something, we are commenting something, or the variables we are showing, or we are just taking these variables. Okay, these kind of things are what? These are our comprehension features. So it is the code comprehension features provided as part of the source code itself. It is not, you are not going to get it from another part or another thing. This is only the part of your source code. If you are writing a particular source code, then these particular things comes within the source code. This is my operational part, or anything else which I will be writing, that will be my operation part. But these comments or this kind of initialization, the structuring part, code structuring part, or the headers which we use, these things, they are not the operational part, they are the comprehension features of our code. That is, these are showing how we are, what kind of things we are assigning to our particular code, or what kind of things we are taking help in our particular code. But they are not operational features. Operational features are those where you are using some kind of mathematical task or some other things, that are our particular different codes are used. For characters also we have seen that how we are concatenating the characters, anything else, that things are known as operational type, but these are our comprehension type. Okay, so here what is that? That is your code comprehension features. Then that is in your internal documentation. Okay, now provided through appropriate modules and comments embedded in the source code. Appropriate modules which we are using and the comments. These things are that the comments that which are embedded, appropriate modules which are embedded, and the comments which are embedded within your source code. These things are being taken as your comprehension features of your particular code, right? And also provided through the useful variable names. That is, here we are writing some variable names. Then this is also your comprehension features. Okay, second, that is a variable name. Then module and function headers, the headers which we use, that is hash include, or not hash include, that void include. When we are making some void main, this one hash include, this is your particular header file which you are using. So these kinds of header or these kinds of things are your comprehensive features. that is your function headers, right? And code structuring, the structuring of your code. These kinds of comments are showing the structuring of your code. If some comments are given, how this thing is going to be happen, what I am doing in this particular line, that we write through by showing some comments. So this is also your comprehensive part of your code. And the code identifiers, what kind of code identifiers we are using. Okay, so those things are also your comprehensive features. And use of user defined data types. When we are making some user defined data types, those data types are also the part of your comprehensive features. So these all things, each and everything which we have shown here, these all things just make this internal documentation. It is embedded in the source code itself. You are not taking this out from another site, or you are not taking it out from another part. Okay, it is only embedded in your source code only. Okay, so these kind of things are basically your internal documentation. These all things are embedded in this internal documentation. Now, out of all these documentations, meaningful variable name is most useful in understanding the code. Meaningful variable name, whenever you are writing the variables, okay, you have to see that meaningful variable names are used. Okay, that whenever you are writing a function, if you are using here ABC, then when after doing the particular calculation, you have to see that this is my sum. So if I am writing this, I have to see that C is equals to, or sum is equals to A plus B. So this meaningful variable name, that I am doing a addition here, or I am doing a difference here, that is the minus subtraction here. Okay, so these kind of variable names are meaningful variable names are also very important in internal documentation. Whenever you are going for an internal documentation, you have to, every time you have to say that meaningful variable names should be given. Previously also we have seen that variable names should be like that, they can show what function they are going to do. So this is very important, that meaningful variable names are important than that in documentations. Now, obviously, in contrast to the common expectation that code commenting would be the most useful. Here what we think, that code commenting is everything here. We know that whenever we are writing a code commenting, that is everything. No, like suppose here example, style of code commenting does not help in understanding the code. Here what we are writing, someone had written that here A is equals to 10. So that means what, 10 is assigned to A, right? Value of 10 is assigned to A. But if some commenting had been done like this, that A made 10, that A had been made 10. No, this kind of commenting may not useful in understanding your code, because this is not the part what we are going to do. We are just assigning this 10 to our variable A. But if someone had commented that A made 10, that A had been made 10. But this is not possible for any programmer to just see the commenting. Maybe some comments have been given, but to see the comment, just to see the commenting, and you can just understand what kind of function is going on. No, only comments are not useful for understanding any function. So what we have written, code commenting does not help in understanding the code. It can show what kind of operation is going on, or it can give you a particular idea of that code, but it is not helpful in understanding the whole code. Done. So this kind of commenting, only the commenting, code commenting is not useful. So a common expectation is what? That if we are writing a code, for those who doesn't know this particular code, those who are beginners, for them only the code commenting is sufficient. That is a common expectation. But no, from contrast of this, what? All those things, that name of the particular variable should be depending on their function. Each and everything, your code is structuring, everything is needed for an internal, perfect internal documentation. So obviously this kind of code commenting is not sufficient. Now, when carefully commented, meaningful variable names still are more helpful in understanding piece of code. When you are writing a particular comment, okay, that is carefully commented, meaningful variable names are still more helpful. Meaningful variable names, when you are using and you are commenting, you have to write it very nicely, or the function, whatever thing is going on, whatever operation is going on you are doing, you have to write the meaningful variable names as well as what is happening. You have to write in a very brief manner, or we have to write that particular operation very nicely so that one can understand from your commenting. In that case, that are more helpful in understanding a piece of code. So you have to see, whenever writing an internal documentation, you have to take care that whatever you are writing in the comments also, the comments should be in a very specific manner, right? Every variable name should be there correctly, as well as the whatever operation is being done, that should be written also nicely and perfectly, so that your whole internal documentation will be a perfect one. So good organizations usually ensure good internal documentation. Good organizations, they mainly provide a very good internal documentation. It is very important. So basically internal documentation is what? It is those things, the comprehensive features of your code which is embedded within your source code, it's not coming from any outside part. Okay, that is your source code is providing you the internal documentation. That now let's come to our external documentation. What is our external documentation? External documentation, it is provided to various types of supporting documents. We have seen in previous class that what are the different kinds of documents which we have seen as software documentation. What kind of documentations are there which makes the software documentation, right? So here, what are the various types of documentations which basically makes the external documentation? Internal means what? Within my code, in my code. External means outside my code. Okay, yes, it is coming from my code, but it is outside the code. That is your user manual, whatever you are providing to the customer, how the user will use the particular software, that user manual is a part of your external documentation. That each and everything is provided, as I have told you previously also, each and everything, that how a person, when a layman is taking your particular software, he should have that user manual and he can understand each and everything from that user manual only, that how I am going to use that particular software. That so user manual is important. SRS document, that is our software requirement specification document. It is also very important, since all the requirements gathered, analyzed, everything had been jotted down in that SRS document. So SRS document is also a very important part of your particular external documentation. Then design document, whatever thing had been done in the whole designing phase, that is a blueprint of your software, that particular designing document is also been embedded, or it is also taken in under this external documentation. And the test document, how your document your software have been tested. Okay, so this test document is also taken as the external documentation. That is how your software had been tested and what kind of inputs have been given, what kind of output have been got, or it is working as the user needs it, or as per the user need, so or user expectation. So these are the things, whole things which are embedded in this external documentation. These particular documents, supporting documents, makes the external documentation. Internal documentation is coming both only provided through your code, but external documentation is made from some supporting documents. That is not from a particular document, it's coming from those supporting documents. When they are taken together, they are making the external documentation. Then, so a systematic software development style ensures that all these documents are produced in an orderly fashion. What is an orderly fashion? That is our SDLC model is showing the different phases, right? That is your feasibility study, right? Then requirement phase. What you will get from requirement phase? That is your SRS document. Then your designing phase, design document, coding phase, your codes, that is your source code. Then your testing phase, test document, then maintenance. So this is what is the whole sequence. So it should be in an orderly fashion. That is user manual, how you are going to use. Then the SRS document for this particular phase, then design document for this phase, test document for this phase. So it should be in an orderly manner. It cannot be in a haphazard manner. You cannot provide any particular document in a haphazard manner. It should be sequentially as according to the phases of your SDLC model. So this is what is coming under the external documentation. Then it is clear that in internal documentation, source code and how the structuring of your source code is done, identifiers, variables, commenting, everything is been taken as in the internal documentation. It is provided in the internal documentation, but in external documentation, that is the comprehensive features of your source code. And in external documentation, what is going on? Some supported documents have been taken together and they are providing you the external documentation, but in a orderly fashion. It is very important. So this is what was in our document, software documents. Okay, so documentation, software documentation is what? The type of different documents which we have used. That is, in every phase we are getting some documents, and it had two parts, that is our internal documentation, software documentation, and external software documentation. So these things are being in under your software documentation. So if you have any kind of query related to today's topic, you can ask me in the comment section, and if you have any suggestions, you can give me that also. Please like my channel, subscribe it, and share it with your friends. Till then, take care and have a good day.